r/ask Reddit. What did you think was easy to do until you actually tried it? I tried chopping down a tree with an axe once. Not even a large tree at all. 10-minute job. I assumed that would be. Oh boy, nope. Very sharp axe. And proper axe, not the Bunnings $20 special. And good technique. Not Joe's whack-em cause he gyms every day. Will actually make it a 10-minute job. But the guys who do it at sub 10 minutes generally have practice under their belt and got the technique down to a T. And they wear red flannel shirts. I thought university was going to be easy because I kept getting A's in high school, so how hard could it be? Mayo. It was super easy for me until I got overwhelmed with crippling depression and now I'm failing all my classes. Same. College was insanely easy. Then I got depressed and addicted to opiates. And now I'm a dropout. No joke, I thought sex wouldn't be so tiring. The stamina isn't even the hard part, it's the keeping the happy juice, and that's the tricky part. Wait until your mid-30s. It's the exact opposite. Add alcohol and half the time you both just decide to sleep before you can finish. Edit. Great. Now my top comment is an over-exaggerated complaint about my sex life. To the younger guys, there's nothing to worry about. Your stamina will get much better, making it sometimes exhausting after a long day. Some drinks and or if you're not in great shape, it doesn't mean you have to worry about your sex drive. If you're tired before you can finish, it just means you've had a really good romp and need sleep. Consistently working out. There are some days you just don't want to. Edit. Of course my top comment is about me being a lazy sack of shit. God, that is today for me. I've been doing really good, so I feel like shit if I don't do anything. When I don't go, I usually try to eat my very best that day, so it's not like it is a waste of a day. Don't feel too bad, man. Losing weight is also about eating right. Golf. Had no idea how difficult and frustrating hitting that little ball would be until I played my first round. Golf is impossible. I don't know how people can be so good at it. Edit. With some of the advice, I can't help but see a bunch of Mr. Mises. It's the real life version of praying to RN Jesus. Sometimes you're lucky, but most of the time a terrible fate happens that ducks you over. Photoshop. I've been a graphic designer for 10 years, and I still Google how to do things on a daily basis. I've been working in PS for 20 years and it doesn't get better. Working in fast food. Having to stand for long hours, be near boiling grease fumes, mop floors while customers are right next to you, tons of memorization in a short amount of time, poor training, etc. Yes, I was legit bad at doing fast food and thought, I should be good at this. It's known as this easy and low valued job. It's low valued alright, but it's hard as hell. People who work in fast food should get so much more credit than they do. I feel the exact same way. It's funny how the lowest paying jobs can be so physically demanding. Not to mention interacting with customers can be quite difficult for someone who experiences social anxiety. Decide what to do in a relationship when there are serious issues. Bro taker interpersonal. Between two people. Conflicts management class at your local community college. If possible, get a significant other to take it with you. That shit is life changing. Quite literally. Edit. Added interpersonal. Pull-ups. Couldn't even do one when I started. I don't have kids. I don't handle kids. But it took me longer than I care to admit to figure out you weren't talking about diapers. I feel this one. Leaving a situation where you are unhappy, e.g., an unfulfilling job or maybe one with a lousy boss, an unsatisfying relationship, moving out of crummy apartment or kicking out an annoying roommate. I used to be the type of person who always thought, don't complain, do something. But through personal experience, I now see that in many cases that it's really not that easy to get out of a less than good situation for a lot of reasons. Even if the exit seems obvious, it's not just being lazy, uncreative, or loving the drama that gets you stuck sometimes. I have since tried to stop being so judgmental and be a better listener rather than dump a lot of unsolicited advice on people, and then getting all huffy when they don't take it. I'm working a job I hate, but before I got that job I was genuinely broke, applying to jobs all over the place and not hearing back. Spent every minute stressing over where I could get a little bit of money. I'm miserable every day at work, but just thinking about quitting and looking for something else sends me into a panic because I don't want to be in the situation I was before getting my job. I used to be so spontaneous too. I was the kind of person who absolutely would quit a job I was unhappy at, but once you get a dose of reality, it's not as easy as just do it anymore. Everyone says to leave a job you hate, but those people are usually the ones who have had a great job for a long time and don't recall what job hunting is like. Drumming. And no, I'm not talking about some peer level drumming, I'm talking just a simple beat on the snare with maybe a cymbal or two mixed in. I can't even press the pedal hard enough to make halfway decent sound on the bass drum. My mind literally shuts down. My boyfriend makes it look so easy. Oh hell yeah, drumming is way harder than it looks, but once you get the hang of it, it's just muscle memory. My experience is the best drummers are the ones who make it look easy. Strumming a guitar/ukulele, I expected angelic, but simple, sound to come out of it. Instead I was met with the sound equivalent of stale bread. It's eatable but you don't want to eat it. Especially ukulele. Gotta get the strum pattern down or it sounds shit. I've been playing guitar for about 13 years, and I almost forgot about that pain until I wonder what it's like to play left-handed. Yep, it's not pretty. Sex, that first time was awkward as hell. Pro tip, dip your coke in Vaseline before the date. Girl, dude, why is your dong all greasy? And your response then is? Being an adult turns out, nobody knows what the duck they are doing. Bills suck, wages suck, you have a wife and kid and suddenly none of the shit you used to enjoy is okay, and somehow you need to make ends meet, and watch Paw Patrol for the billionth time because it makes the screaming stop. I seriously wish someone had told me this when I was younger. For years I thought I was behind in life. Turns out everyone's just as confused as I am. Just wait, the loud house comes after Paw Patrol stage. Being a parent. It is easy saying I will bring my kids up better than I was brought up. Is it bollocks? One of my friends once passed on a bit of wisdom that I assume he heard elsewhere. To me, being a parent is making your own mistakes while not making the same ones your own parents made. My parents' major mistake was indifference and a lack of effort in general family activities. Luckily, when I was very young, we had a neighbor in her teenage years who was very on the ball and more or less brought me up like a big sister. So I ensure I pay attention to my daughter and spend time with her so when the time comes, she'll be an adult with childhood memories that actually contain her parents. I'm not going to say I was some pure, abused child. I wasn't abused in any way, physically or otherwise, but my parents just never made the effort to interact with me on any level that I can ever recall in regards to my hobbies, interests, or even while sharing the same room. Also, no trick or treating, outings to the swimming pool. You get the picture. They didn't ignore me, but just a few months back we were discussing sending my daughter to football, soccer for you colonials practice, and they asked me why I never showed any interest in it when I was young. I did. I played for our local team for 7 years as well as 2 different schools. On the other hand, they definitely had more patience than I do. My mother, at least. Probably not my father. I say probably because, well, I can't really remember interacting with him much. This is why I'm so scared of having children. I wasn't raised terribly, but a lot of things makes me have a strong distaste for my family, which makes me worried for my possible children. Cartwheels. I still can't do them. I have no idea how people do them. I was threatened with failing pay over not being able to do them, and eventually the instructor made an exception for me because it became clear I was injuring myself trying. No one ever thinks I can do a cartwheel. It's made me a decent amount of barbet $. I was even doing them when I was 300 pounds. So now, at 211, it's a piece of cake. I never even had to learn how to do it. My first one ever was perfect. Kinda wish I had gotten a better natural talent than cartwheels, but it's a cool trick. Rock wall climbing after putting on a few pounds. Or taking a year off, you lose all the strength in your hands. My friend is into rock climbing and invited me to go with him once. I'm pretty athletic, so I thought it'd be easy. I was wrong. It's nuts how dead my hands were after only like 15 minutes. Indoor rock climbing. Don't get me wrong, I didn't think I'd be scaling 5/14s on the first day, but I wasn't expecting how hard even the easiest walls beat the shit out of your body. Last year I started climbing at an indoor gym, usually going with a friend or two who were also new. Before that all my experience had been as a kid where I could scramble up without too much problem. Turns out as an adult after half a dozen walls I simply couldn't climb another one. It wasn't that I was too tired, it was that my muscles were so worn out I just couldn't hold anything anymore. Next day I couldn't even open a can of soda because I was still too weak. It wasn't that bad after repeated trips back, but I still ran out of muscle stamina surprisingly fast. The first time I went rock climbing I couldn't even drive home afterwards for about 40 minutes. Now that I've been climbing for about 6 years in and out and going 4x a week I finally been managing to climb 12s. It's crazy. What sucks is if to injure yourself like I did and can't climb for about 4 months you lose a lot and have to regain what you lost. It's a mix of you being significantly heavier now than when you were a kid. Not calling you fat, just, you grew. It's what people do. And climbing uses forearms a lot. And not a lot else does. At least to that extent. Getting over it. That doesn't even look easy. The speedrunners make it look effortless. Getting through that stupid cave using the lanterns never gets easier for me. Get back into shape. I was in the army for 4 years and while I was in, every time I needed to improve I would go okay, I'll work harder the next couple weeks and reduce my 2-mile time by 20 seconds. I've now been out for 2 years and I've gained about 30 pounds. Recently I thought, I'll work out once before work and run after work. In a couple of weeks I'll be back to good. Nope, you guys it's ducking hard to lose weight. Like you gotta eat well and stop drinking and shit. I work 9 hours a day in an office and I need my sleep so working out before work, yeah that happens like once a week when I can motivate myself to after work. Yep, but I can't go too hard or my chronic injuries kick in and I'm in pain. And it's so expensive to eat super healthy all the time. Why is there not a dining facility where I can store up on food for free? In a month I have lost 5 pounds and I work ducking hard for those 5 pounds. Oh what I would give to be 19 again. My dude. 5 pounds in a month is great. 1-2 pounds a week loss is what's considered a safe range. And you're in it. You're doing great. It's taken me 5 years. Half of that actively losing. The rest maintaining the loss. To be down just shy of 90 pounds. You'll get there. Come join us over at r/lowseat if you like. Kitchen remodel. A friend asked me last year if I would redo her kitchen. I said yes. Big mistake. How did it turn out? It isn't done yet. Using a strap-on to duck someone. Thought it would be easy. Just move your hips back and forth. You have to find the right height position. Get a good rhythm going. And it's a ducking workout on muscles that I don't usually use as much during sex. That first time gave me a new appreciation for the person that's putting the work in during certain sexual positions. Isn't this just saying how hard it is for men during sex? It's not just that. When you're ducking someone with a strap on, you can't feel through the thing. So, if say you're using a cheap harness and your strap on falls out of the harness between thrusts, your partner has to tell you, which kinda ruins the moment. Hold on a moment. Sweetheart, your dong fell off. Lem just pop it back in. Okay, you're clear to duck again. I imagine if I had a flesh penis, I'd be able to feel if it fell off. Raising a puppy. I was like 10 when I got my dog Snoopy and I thought it would be easy. Had no idea that it is actually difficult to raise a puppy. You gotta constantly be making sure they aren't tearing into something or going to the bathroom inside, and if they do you have to clean up. There is a lot of behavior training involved too that you don't think about. Oh god. When I was a preteen my dog had 2 puppies. I don't remember that being difficult at all. When I was like 19 my mom got a dog and I ended up having to be the one to take care of him. And no one really helped. Everyone was working and I wasn't. I also hadn't gotten any say in the fact that they were getting a puppy. After about a week I was pretty much begging my dad to watch him for a few hours because I was exhausted and sick of being around him. I loved him, but I was so overwhelmed. Afterwards they helped out a bit more. I already didn't want kids. But after that week I really did not want kids. I totally understand. My roommate just got a bulldog as her first puppy. Unfortunately, she works way too much to actually take care of this dog and I've been tasked with basically raising it for her. I'm at my wit's end with him. But he's so cute and squishy I can't be mad at him for long. Keep a health diet. I have 2 options after work. 1. Spend 1h cooking plus cleaning everything after. 2. Spend 1h at my hobby. Most days I'm just too tired for number 1. Or I just don't have the time to do it. To clarify, you can cook meals for a few days which will save you time, but it's still time consuming. But if you stop doing it for a while it's hard to return to the routine. Skateboard. I thought it was easy since I am very good at roller skating, but then when I tried it, I fell on my ass and the skateboard went straight down the street until it got run over by a car. It wasn't even mine. I was so scared that someone might have gotten hurt that I never tried it again. Leaving an abusive relationship. Whoa, I always wondered why women would stay with their abusive husband or boyfriend. It's one of the most mind-duckery things I've ever experienced. I knew I had to leave, but then he'd be so nice again and I'd fall right back into his manipulation. I stayed long enough to have a baby with him. I finally left. It was the scariest experience of my life. He threatened to kill me. Now that he can't control me in our relationship, he's now using his money and big-time lawyer to try and get our daughter 50/50. He claims he deserves to have just as much time with our daughter as I do. I feel he's just trying to make my life miserable and doesn't even care about the 50/50 custody. The worst part is that I have to deal with this guy the rest of my life. If you're being abused, please get out before involving a child. It's the most heart-wrenching thing. I wish this on no one. R/learn to draw. The first week is pretty easy. Drawing people from imagination? Still can't do it. If it makes you feel better, you shouldn't do that anyway. Your art will be better if there's some kind of reference. Being nice to people I don't like. Getting a post and ask Reddit past 1 upvote. Lesbian sex. I figured, hey, these genitals match mine, this should be easy. Turns out there is still a lot of figuring out how each lady works. Who knew? Also, I have mad respect for my penized counterparts. I did not realize how difficult leg positioning was for you guys. Open bracket. Or maybe I'm doing it wrong and that fact is now permanently on the internet for the world to see. At least you have lesbian sex. No idea how to even meet someone, let alone how to make them think I'm okay. Maybe if you weren't so farty. Sobriety. A year and 3 months here. It gets easier. 32 years here. It does get easier, but I craved for like 10 years. But now I could care less. Being pregnant. My ribs hurt really bad. Carrying around a watermelon 24/7 amid several important internal organs always seemed really difficult to me. I'm a pretty tiny human as well. I can feel every movement and sometimes they kick my vagina from the inside. Being a grown-up. Turns out it's a lot of 1. Flying by the seat of your pants and 2. Putting up with shit you don't like. Getting a tattoo. Not that I thought it would be easy, but I have chronic pain issues that have given me a pretty high pain tolerance. Plus I was getting it on my thigh, which I'd been told would be less painful. Nope. It felt like it was radiating through my whole body. I still don't regret it though. I'd even do it again. And it still wasn't as painful as getting an IUD put in. You aren't lying about IUD insertion. Holy God, was I unprepared. Playing a trumpet. It seems super simple, and I've been playing it for 6 months now, and I'm still not the best at it. It gets easier once you can play the C major scale, but I only recently got at it. I also have braces and elastics, so it's a lot harder with a tiny mouthpiece. I'll probably go to baritone next year. 3 buttons. How hard can it be? Good luck hitting them high notes, friend. Ducking running. Losing weight. Lost around 16 kilograms, then bounced back up by 20 kilograms. Every day I see myself in the mirror, I am so frustrated. Yoga. Being a teacher. Riding a hoverboard. I tried one out in a store and completely underestimated both the sensitivity and the speed. The moment I tried to step onto it, the device flew out from under me and I was left on my ass. Snowboarding. Like I knew it wouldn't be that easy, but I did not know it would be lean 1 centimeter too far backward front and you will fly 3 meters through the air and be in a world of hurt hard. I had to drive it in school during a specific tour that would also give us grades in sport. During the end I sort of got how to do it, but I just couldn't bring myself to actually try something harder because my ass hurt so much. I took 10 minutes each morning to get out of the bed. I once fell during the end. I barely avoided vomiting from the pain. I was crying for the next 10 minutes. I was 16 at the time. Also the thing had some kind of really long way down. You could ski snowboard down for several kilometers, which would be awesome. Except for the fact that I would faceplant every 10-40 meters and got back to the house when it was about to grow dark around 2 hours after my friends managed to get back. It was pure torture. I could finally sit normally 3 weeks after the tour. I still felt pain, but I could at least ignore it. Sit-ups. I lift, squat, lost weight, but I can't do a sit-up for the life of me. Drawing good-looking stickman with a trackpad. It's far harder than is at all reasonable for something of such a barren stature. Breastfeeding. Visiting the animal shelter and leaving empty-handed. Adulthood. I'm nearly 50 and I still can't get the hang of it. Whoa, you made it to the end? You're a ducking beast. I'll cut you a deal. Smash like and subscribe for more curated content, bruh. It's free and that's a great price.